Take me to your leader. Welcome to the Headbangers at the Hangar podcast. I am your host with a little bit of sun on my face, Andrew Mercer. How's everybody doing today? Very exciting episode to get to. More on that a little bit later, but first of all, I have some things to clear up. As always, we are brought to you by our great sponsors over at Monster Energy and Spotify. I apologize for the glare that we have going on over here. It is about 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. The sun is shining bright and the sun is going right through my blinds. Believe it or not, this is not my full-time job. I do have a day job, so until then, we got to kind of work with the equipment that we're given until the show gets a little bit bigger, and then we'll upgrade for sure. And yeah, we have a really awesome show for you guys today. My guest his name is Willis Bouwman from Michigan. I found Willis on YouTube. He has a YouTube presence. He does a bunch of heavy metal acoustic covers, which is right up my alley. I say this all the time. Before I am a metalhead, I am a lover of music, and I just love when bands or an artist strip things down to acoustic. Just one instrument and one vocal, maybe a couple vocals, but just strip it down. I mean, so many things in so many different genres. I mean, you have, basically most songs in most genres, country, pop, rock, are written through an acoustic guitar. You pick out a chord structure and you put vocals to it. And then afterwards, once these bands or artists hit the studio, they add a bunch of different layers after that. Then you get 3 different electric guitars, you get synthesizers, piano. At the end of the day, you got 20, 30 different tracks for one song, but when you acoustify it, it brings it down to the bare bones. And that's how I found Willis, reached out to him, and he was an awesome guest, man. We have our first at Headbangers at the Hangar live performances. Willis played 3 songs during the interview, and the quality was really good, so stick in there. Yeah, even through Zoom, it was good. He's got his own kind of studio, so he has some really great equipment. It came through great. Make sure you guys stay tuned for the interview. He absolutely killed it, man. I'm so thankful that he came on. Like I said, it's a first for the show where we get some live music, man. So it's awesome. So we're just building this thing up. Backtracking, it's been a little bit since I did an episode. My last episode with Karen Marie Young, the artist out in Phoenix, it did awesome. It's already the number 2 episode on my channel. The Dave Alexander episode is still number 1. The first interview I did, it's still number 1. Karen is number 2. She's right on Dave's heels. It just skyrocketed. So I want to thank Karen again for coming on the show, telling us a lot of great UFO stories, a Bigfoot story. It was really awesome. I have a good amount of guests lined up. I don't want to give too much away, but in the works, guys, here's what we have. We have 3 different things coming up. One thing I have is a gentleman in Greece. No, he's in Bulgaria right now, but he's Greek. Claims he was abducted. I think. I didn't really ask too much. I don't want to press. I want to save it for the interview. But he claims that he did have an encounter. So I'm working on getting an interview with him. It's going to be a little difficult because there's a 7-hour time difference. But hey, I'm dedicated. If I got to wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning and do it with him when it's 9 or 10 a.m. over there, I'm all about it. So that's a gentleman. He claims he was abducted. That's one thing that we got going on. The second thing is we got a metal TikToker, one of the biggest metal presences on TikTok, which is a medium that really fascinates me. I'm navigating those waters. This guy's got it nailed down. Big time metalhead. So we're going to talk with him. And the third one I'm super excited about also. It's a little different, but listen. I know a lot of metalheads are also lovers of cats. I got a cat specialist verbally confirming an interview for the podcast, so I'm super excited about that. We're going to talk to her. So we got an abductee, a metal TikToker, and a cat behavioral specialist, all verbal yeses to come on to the show. Super excited. Now, a little bit of news kind of broke on my end. There was something I had set up with a guest that kind of fell through. I'm not going to say any specific names, any specific groups. However, I had reached out to a gentleman, and I won't say what instrument he plays, but he is a member of probably the most prominent Kiss tribute band in the country. Now, I had reached out to him, and I had asked him if he would want to come on the show, kind of tell me, how he got into Kiss. We could discuss Kiss's influence on the metal scene, what it's like being that certain Kiss member that he's playing the part of for all of these years. Very prominent group. And he had confirmed it, and we were going to do an interview. So he went dark for a few days after he confirmed. So I reached back out. I said, hey man, what's going on? And he had told me that the group had broken up, which was breaking news. Again, I don't want to say the name of the group because I still want to have this gentleman on the show just to pick his brain about Kiss, all things Kiss. But it was an exclusive over here, Headbangers at the Hangar. So now you all know that this unnamed Kiss tribute band is broken up. Now, if you want to do the research and dig, maybe you might be able to find the gentleman that I was supposed to speak to. But that unnamed Kiss tribute band, probably the best in the country, is now broken up. That is the second exclusive drop that we got here at Headbangers at the Hangar. Of course, the first one we had was Glenn of Pink Dreams telling us that Pink Dreams would be taking a hiatus. You heard that first here, Headbangers at the Hangar. That's 2 exclusives. So we're doing a little bit of journalistic work over here at the Hangar. On the alien front, there is some news. I know the show, it's become predominantly music, which is great. But we still, of course, have some alien influence over here. Big news dropping in the alien UFO world since I was last on the show. Now, I have to do... Hold on a minute. Let me do some research. I gotta get my phone. So, since we last came on, the U.S. government has opened up... Okay, here we go. Has opened up the Pentagon, specifically, has opened up a new branch, AOIMSG. I gotta look this stuff up. It's too many. All right. So, Airborne Object Identification and Management Synchronization Group, AOIMSG, or as I like to call it, AOI. W, X, Y, and Z. But basically, the Pentagon has opened up a new branch of the government that is exclusively going to look into the UFO sightings and activity that's going on in our country, which is very exciting. The UFO stuff, it's opening up every day. Something is coming out. And again, as we keep talking about on the show, it might not be within the next 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 years, but in our lifetime, I think we're gonna really start to see something. We might end up seeing a body, might actually get an actual UFO on the ground that the government will tell us about. Things are opening up, so very, very exciting stuff. We're gonna get on to Willis here. It was so much fun talking to this guy. We literally just did it. Usually I'll do the Zoom interview, and then I can record the intro a couple days after, but you know, I just did it with him. Like, we literally hung up like 20-25 minutes ago. It was awesome. The guy's super down to earth. I do apologize. His audio was a lot better than mine. Mine was still pretty good, but my daughter had, she pulled out the cable on my computer that attaches my good microphone. So I was talking through the camera microphone during the interview. Now I'm back on the actual microphone that I use. It's called the Snowball. Let's see. But that was unplugged for the interview. But it doesn't matter. His stuff sounded really good. You could still make out what I was doing. He played 3 covers for us acoustically. I don't want to give him away, but he really killed it, man. Thank you again, Willis. Everybody check out his stuff. I tried to plug him as much as I could. It's all in the interview. He was awesome. I cannot, however, I'm super pumped up, super jacked. I can't just let Willis be playing music for this episode. He's got me really inspired. So I'm going to do a song for you guys too. Alright? As you all know, it's December. Christmas is right around the corner. I'm getting in the spirit. So Merry Christmas to all you guys. I do not think this will be my last episode of December. Like I said, I have 3 guests that are verbal confirmations for an interview. So I will see you again to give you a more official Merry Christmas. But right now I'm going to play this song, and then we're going to throw it right to the Willis Bouwman interview. Guys, great episode. Thanks again to Karen Marie Young. Now I'm going to do this cover. We talked a lot in the interview about 90s alternative, post-grunge. So in the spirit of all that, I'm going to do a song by Stained. It's called It's Been a While. Up, just like I always I could look at myself straight. It's been a while since I said I'm sorry. And it's been a while since I could say the candles light your face. And it's been a while, but I can still remember just the way you taste and everything I can remember. Despite the past, it always seems to me I know it's me. I cannot blame this on my father. He did the best he could for me. It's been a while since I could hold my head up high. It's been a while since I could call you. Alright. That was, of course, It's Been a While by Stained. I messed up one of the verses, but that's alright. Alright, guys. Remember, this show is sponsored by Monster Energy and Spotify. Now, if you want to be a part of the show, if you want to be a guest, if you want to suggest a guest, if you want me to address a certain topic, shoot me an email, HeadbangersAtTheHangar@gmail.com. If you participate, I will get you on the show. I am still looking for a Tik Tok consultant. So if you know anybody, or if you are that person that wants to work for me for free, Headbangers at the Hangar, and let's talk. You can help me promote the show. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is Willis Bouwman. All right, what's up, Willis? How's it going, man?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me here. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming on. It's a Sunday. First off, right off the bat, I want to thank you for coming on right now, specifically for those who don't know. We are interviewing Sunday at 1 o'clock. I don't know if you follow football or not, but I am a Jets fan, and they really suck this year. So us doing this interview, it gives me an excuse not to watch. That way my Sunday is not ruined right off the bat. So I'm really happy to be doing this.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so for people who don't know you, just give them a little info about yourself, what you do.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, my name is Willis Bouwman, and I have a couple YouTube channels where I just kind of share my love of everything rock and metal, basically, and I mean, just love playing guitar. Been playing guitar for a long time, and just happy to be able to, share my talents with everyone else, and that everyone else can enjoy it and just have a good time with it,
You're a music teacher too, right?
I am. Yeah, I teach guitar for a living, and I'm very blessed to be able to do that. I've been doing that for a number of years now, and I love it so much, just working with people of all ages and difficulty levels and different styles of music, and it's just really exciting,
How do you do it? Do you do it online? Do you go, physically meet up with people at a building?
Yeah, I do a little bit of both. I have some online students, and then I have the rest of my students. I actually go to their house and do lessons there, which I've found is like really it's a nice dynamic, just like being able to go to the student's house and where they're comfortable. I feel like the lessons are the most effective that way, and it's just really good all around.
Yeah. Also, with the online stuff, there's always a little bit of a lag, right? So
yeah,
if you're trying to play along or sing along, it never quite works out properly unless you have, kind of a technical setup. So
yeah, you can't play songs together or anything like that.
So just out of curiosity, as you know, the show is called Headbangers at the Hangar. It's a metal-based show. I'm
Yeah.
always curious to know what the younger people are doing these days musically, because in my opinion, the metal scene in particular, it's just not really driving a lot of new bands, a lot
Yeah.
of new content that really sticks out. So, what are some of the things that some of your younger students are listening to of any genre? What are they asking you to play?
Yeah, I would say predominantly it's pop music, which that's not my favorite, but like through excuse me, being a guitar teacher, I have learned through the years to uh, appreciate all kinds of music,
Yeah.
basically, even though it's not something I'm gonna rush home and go listen to, But yeah, it's mostly, I would say, mostly pop music. I do have a few students that are really into the '90s stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, like '90s alternative, Nirvana, things like that, which I love. That's the stuff I grew up with,
Yeah, that's
basically.
my shit too. How old are you,
Right?
just by chance?
I'm 42, actually.
Oh, all right. I'm
Yeah,
31. So when
yeah,
yeah, I was growing up as like a little kid, my parents would put the radio on, and that's what was on. It was,
yeah,
Nirvana was still on, even though he had passed by then, and
yeah, yeah,
Goo Goo Dolls, Stone Temple Pilots.
yep,
That's what was on the radio.
yeah, for sure.
So take us back to the beginning. How did you get into music? How old were you? What was your first
Yeah.
instrument? Stuff like that.
Yeah. So I mean, it basically kind of going back to that, like with the '90s stuff. Like I started playing guitar when I was 12, I believe, and yeah, it was right about the time where the alternative scene was coming on. And but it was interesting though, because before all that kind of happened, I was more into like the R&B hip hop scene, basically.
Give us
Like
some
I
name some acts. What were you
Yeah,
into?
like LL Cool J. I was into some like Boys to Men, Belle Biv DeVoe, like
Uh-huh.
all of those. Yeah, we're talking like super early '90s stuff here. And then when the grunge, some people
Mhm.
really don't like that term, but yeah, grunge alternative, whatever you want to call it, scene came out. I was exposed to that with some friends from school, and like played some of it for me. And I'm like, man, damn, that's really good stuff. And then I had a friend of mine that was playing guitar, and we met in middle school, and so I started hanging out with him, and so he started showing me a few things, and I started getting more and more into the music scene back then, with Nirvana and Alice in Chains and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, man, I really want to learn how to play this stuff. So I had my parents buy me a real cheap ass beater guitar,
Mhm.
and I all I did is my friend like taught me, my friend John, shout out to him. He showed me power chords, basically. He's like, this is all you need to know for rock music, pretty much. And definitely for that '90s era, it was mostly just power chords. The solo stuff wasn't even there,
Yeah.
and so I got this guitar, and I just started listening to the radio, and I had a tape of Nirvana, and I would just listening to that over and over, and I just sit there with my guitar and like, okay, so he's playing that here, and just literally just kind of learning the sound of the chords as I went. And I eventually got to a point where I could like play almost every song on the Nevermind album and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that's pretty much how I got my start. I taught myself that way, uh, and that's kind of where it all started. But
So, like I said, I'm a little bit younger, but than you by about 10 years. So,
yeah, yeah,
when those grunge bands actually came out, I wasn't old enough to comprehend it. I was a little kid, but
sure, sure,
you were probably close to being a teenager, or either
yeah,
were a teenager, right? So
yeah, yeah,
nowadays, like, just where I am and people my age, we look back at that time period, and it's just like, okay, Nirvana was the greatest. Like, they came on, they were
they were the best. What was it like when that Nevermind album came out in real time? Was it like we all think that it was looking back? Was it really just that big when Teen Spirit hit MTV? That was it, or is there some falsities going on? What was it really like?
No, man, I really believe it's everything that people say it is. Like it was a game changer. Like there was nothing that sounded really anything like that before. I mean, you had like some of the punk rock music and stuff, which Nirvana was definitely influenced by. But there was just it was kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Like that sound was kind of like, it wasn't quite metal, but it also had, I mean, I think there was definitely like some bands that were in the metal scene that were kind of influenced going off from that, like post grunge kind of turned into that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That I believe I believe that the alternative scene in '90s definitely was for the new metal scene that came on later, and things like that. It really was big and influential, and started a whole other chain reaction to music beyond that. Now, I do think there was some people, like I did have some friends that were into the hair metal scene, basically, Guns N' Roses and Poison and things like that. And the people who liked that kind of music pretty much hated alternative because
it was killing it, right?
Oh yeah, it was definitely a genre killer, So like, and so a lot of people that were in that vein of music didn't really appreciate it as much because the solos were gone and things like that.
Yeah.
But man, if you were a guitarist who wanted to learn how to play in the '90s, there was, in my opinion, it was a guitar player's dream, to learn how to play a song because it only had 3 or 4 power chords in it, or something like that. So you really felt like, man, I can play this entire song. Where you got other songs that were more difficult, and it's like you couldn't do that right away. So I really feel like it empowered a generation of guitarists, to learn and appreciate that music that was happening at the time.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I mean, there is something to be said about music that's playable. You know what I mean? Like if you stumbled across a band like Dream Theater per se, like no knock on them, but like
right.
if you hear them on the radio or Sirius or Spotify or whatever, and you're like, oh, like, that sounds really cool, like let me try that, you have no shot. But
no.
if you can relate to a band by playing their songs, especially back in that time when there was no internet, you can't Google, give me Nirvana cores or Metallica tabs. It was all by ear. I'm sure for a lot of kids who, like you said, were starting out and wanted to just play and wanted to just connect, it was so awesome that you could pick out songs like the songs on that Nevermind album and actually play it back and feel like, oh shit, like I'm doing this, you know?
Yeah, it was a great feeling for sure.
So how did you get into metal?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically like the '90s, like the alternative stuff was definitely like the turning point for me going into rock and metal. It was kind of the gateway, I would call it, because then I started getting into like the post grunge era, which was like, I don't know. I mean, I guess
Creed,
you could call.
You got your Creeds, your Nickelback.
Creed,
a little
Nickelback.
Later than that, Puddle of Mud, stuff like that. Yep.
All that was born out of there, for sure. But then I started getting into Metallica, and I mean, now that I think about it to this day, I'm ashamed that I didn't know about Metallica until then, because there was so many already great music that they made before that,
When did you? What was that? Black Album?
Black Album.
Discovered it.
Yeah, so the Black Album, and then I started going back in their catalog and listening to their heavier stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, this stuff is awesome.
Yeah.
And then that started getting me into, exposed to other heavier bands. Like then I found Megadeth, and then I found Slayer, and Anthrax, all the big ones, obviously, and then that just kind of kept going. Like I just kept following the rabbit trail, basically. To all kinds of metal. I started learning. I mean, at that point, you started learning about how there's different genres of metal too, you know?
Yeah,
how there's
definitely.
so many sub-genres
Yeah.
of metal. It's crazy. And there's even more today, you know, but so yeah, it just kind of sent me on a path of exploring metal. It became my favorite style of music, and yeah, so
Yeah, the way I found you, as I always tell people this. I've repeated it on the podcast several times. I'm a metalhead, but before that, I'm just a lover of music in general. And
Sure.
like I love acoustic guitar. Like I love when you take a song that seems so elaborate with all these different sounds. Like it could even be pop, you know, like how all the electronic shit is thrown in any kind of music.
Yeah.
And then the way you can just strip it down to one instrument and one person singing, to me, like that's my favorite thing. Acoustified, just completely stripped. So I'm on YouTube and you know, and I'm looking for like metal acoustic covers, and that's how you popped up. And you got all these tracks that you're doing, the End of Heartache, Cemetery Gates, and you know, I went on your YouTube channel and it's just really good shit, man. And I was like, damn, I gotta get this guy on the podcast, you know?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah.
And I'm stoked because you said you agreed you want to play some songs on the episode today. So
yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Let's give us one. Let's hear it.
All right, cool. Sounds good. Let me grab my guitar here.
This is a first for the Headbangers at the Hangar podcast. It's kind of a newer show. This is our 10th episode, you know. So I'm trying to build it up, do some different things. So this will be our first live performance. So it's really cool,
man. Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
Let me know. Can you hear the guitar okay?
Yeah, I can hear it.
All right, awesome. All right, so I'm gonna do a cover of Suicide Note Part 1, Pantera.
Damn.
So. Take the pain away. Take the pain away. Tired of life, shelter without the face I cannot see inside. Yours and mine. Yours and mine. When I'm hiding, when I need it, lets me breathe. For I handle on this life I don't believe this time. Would you look at me now? Can you tell I'm a man? With these scars on my wrist to prove I'll try again. Try to die again. Try to live through this night. Try to die again. Forever feeling free and using, spinning down the slide that breaks the world. Breaks the world. Mother's angel getting smarter. How smart are you to regress? Unfulfilled. It's a damn shame. When I'm hiding, when I'm good, it lets me breathe. For I handle on this life I don't believe this time. Would you look at me now? Can you tell I'm a man? With the scars on my wrist to prove I'll try again. Would you look at me now? Can you tell I'm a man? With these scars on Try to live through this night. Try to die again.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was
you.
fucking killer. I'm trying, like, I'm over here at a show, like, I'm a singer, dude. Like, I sing at the shows. I was trying so hard not to sing because I knew, like, with the lag, it would fuck you up. So, but that was awesome, man.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Pantera, yeah, it's the anniversary of Dime's death was the 8th.
Yep.
So
it
another
was.
year. Do you remember that day?
17 years. I can't believe.
Yeah.
It's been that long.
Do you remember anything about it?
Oh yeah, I remember the day when it happened. Like when I heard about it.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
Yep.
It's scary. Like the thing happened with Randy Blythe all those years ago, right? Where the fan got on the stage and he kicked him off. I don't remember if he killed him, but he seriously like messed up like his head if he didn't kill him. And there was some outrage of like, oh my God, this fucking guy, like what an asshole. But
I remember that.
Didn't
he get locked up?
It's huh?
Didn't he get locked up in like a Czech prison or something?
Yep. They were in Europe.
Yeah.
And they arrested him and he went to jail. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
scary. You never know what people are gonna do. That
I
guy
know.
that killed Dime, he was just ex-military guy. Obviously had some kind of PSD, and he was a huge Pantera fan, and he was upset about the breakup, and
yeah, it was
shot him, man.
tragic.
Yeah.
And
Weirdly enough, too, that December 8th, that's also the same day that John Lennon died.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, they share the same death anniversary. Are you a Beatles guy at all? You like any?
I like
Beatles?
some of their stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Me and my wife, we just started watching that documentary on Disney Plus, Get Back.
Yeah.
The Beatles one where it documents the last album they ever did. It's pretty cool stuff.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really in depth. They got a lot of detail. It shows them like bickering and stuff. That was their last album, so
yeah,
kind of shows. But
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, dude, it's good stuff. But
I like documentaries like that. It fascinates me. So.
Yeah, especially when it's real stuff, real conversations, no BS. And they're literally just bickering, they're kind of fucking around at some points, and you could tell Paul is the serious one, and they're kind of like riffing and stuff. He's like, "Oh, come on, guys, let's have some kind of structure." And then John's like, "Well, let's just go off the cuff, mate." just not about it. So have you ever been in bands or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm actually in a couple of bands.
Right now you are.
Right now. Yep.
Okay, tell us about some of them.
Yeah, so I'm in a band that's called Sixes and Sevens, and I'm the bassist and lead vocalist of the band. And we do, I would call it like hard rock, I guess. Maybe a little bit of classic metal mixed in, but I'm the guy in the band that likes the heavier shit. So like everyone else is, they like rock and roll and blues and things like that. I'm the one that's listening to black metal and things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm so it's definitely it's a style. Like I like playing the music that we do. All the stuff that we do is original and written collaboratively and stuff. And we're really proud of the music we write. We actually have an album on Spotify. If anyone wants to check it out,
dude, plug it.
Yeah,
plug
so
let's hear it.
It's a self-titled album. So you just look up Sixes and Sevens. It's all letters with the So we're pretty proud of it. We put that out right before the pandemic hit, so we didn't get a chance to do any album release type things or anything like that. So it felt like it kind of went by the wayside, but.
Yeah.
It's still up on all major streaming services for those of you guys want to check it out. So
what is it? Bass, 2 guitars, drum? Is that the lineup? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a classic, rock lineup basically.
Okay.
And we've got one guitarist that does primarily rhythm guitar, and then we've got a lead guitar that's amazing. So like he's shredding all over the neck and does a great job with it. And yeah, so it's kind of, yeah, it's like a mix kind of between, we have some songs that sound like kind of goes back to be a bit of a nod to the 90s stuff, and then we have some stuff that sounds more like 80s classic metal, like Dio type stuff or whatever I guess you'd call. But we're really happy with the album, how it turned out, and we've been getting together when we can, and we're writing new stuff for our next album. So because we're not really gigging that much right now, so it's hard to find gigs. But so we're like, well, fuck it, let's just get together and just write music. So
yeah. So how I'm always fascinated, right? Like I've worked with I'm a musician, and I've worked with bands in the past before. For me, it's really hard to kind of collaboratively get stuff. I don't want to say I'm kind of an asshole musically, but I might be kind of an asshole musically, where if I have a vision, I really don't want to stray too far away from it. So in a band with like 4 guys, how do you create a song in that particular band, 6 or 7?
Yeah, like usually how it goes down, myself, I write a lot of the music. Our guitarist, our rhythm guitarist, his name is Dan, and he writes some amazing lyrics. He's really good at writing lyrics. I wrote some too, but I find that my strength lies more into writing the music. So a lot of times it happens where I'll come up with a riff on the guitar or something, and like I make something up and I text it to the guys and like, hey, what do you think of this? And next thing I know, he has lyrics written to it and stuff. And so then we get together as the band and we present the idea to them. And a lot of times while we're working on the song for the first time or whatever, there's input that's added that wasn't part of the initial recording or creation. So I feel like a lot of times most of our songs that we have are very collaborative between all of us. Like we all have something that we added to it, which I think is really cool. Because in a lot of bands, I feel like it's either one person or, at least 2 that only do the writing and composing. Yeah. And then the rest of the band just plays what's written, So I feel like it's really cool just how collaborative it is, and all the different, because we're all coming from different genres of music that we enjoy, we kind of put it all together into a fusion that works really well. So it's pretty cool.
So I always think you guys are 4 guys, right? So then you imagine a band like Slipknot where it's like 9 dudes. It's like, God, how could a one product ever just come out of that with 9 guys? Yeah. But in reality, like you said, it's probably like 2 or 3 dudes. So I know back in the early days, Joey was doing most of the writing, So.
That's true.
So you do a lot of acoustic stuff, like that's where your online presence is primarily. Yeah. Now, do you go out and do that like bar circuit where you play at a bar, you do the 3-hour thing, a lot of acoustic covers?
Yep, I do that as well. I'm actually do that. I have my brother and I, we do like a 2-man acoustic thing where we take a lot of songs from the 90s. Again, that's kind of what our bag is basically, Yeah. And we call, and fitting enough, we call ourselves the Brothers, and we just kind of go out to some of the area breweries. We're in the Southwest Michigan area, and so we just kind of go out and play some cover songs at some of the breweries and bars, and it's such a good time. It's like it just. I love playing in a band, but there's a lot of setup and there's a lot of pressure, like sometimes just like, but when you have like just yourself and a guitar, there's just something about it, it's just like you're just putting yourself out there, but at the same time, you can just be very like chill about it, and just have a good time and enjoy it. And then the reception is usually really good. Like people just are there. They're already there to relax and have a good time anyway. And and enjoy a few drinks or whatever. And if there's music going on in the background, and if people really get into it, I mean, that's even better. you know, people start singing and really getting into it, that's cool. But yeah, it's just something like I enjoy doing it. And then my brother and I really like playing with him because he sings a lot of the main vocals, and that frees me up to sing some harmonies along with him, and also kind of do some lead stuff, which I like to do. So I don't get a chance to do that a lot, being in the band and things like that. So I feel like we have a pretty good dynamic there, with being able to offer a lot of stuff, you know, just in music with just the two of us, you know. So yeah, I enjoy that a lot.
It's always the musician's dilemma, right? Where you write all this original material and then you'll play it out, and I mean, people, they just don't care, dude. Like it could be the greatest thing ever, but you know, then you go, like you're saying, then you go to a brewery and you play a song like Wonderwall or Everlong. Just the fact that people can recognize it, and it's something that they can sing with you. They'll sing the songs back. I mean, you know, it's not yours, but there's such a payoff to looking out into a crowd. It could even, you know, 5, 10, 15 people. If you got 5 people singing something back to you at the top of their lungs, I mean, there's no better feeling, you know.
That's right.
But totally it is a dilemma, because it's hard. It's like, okay, well, we're doing this cover stuff and that's what people want to hear, but it's like, okay, at the same time, how do I get my own stuff out there and get people to care, you know?
Yeah.
It
is hard. Yeah, like you said, like it is hard when you put all your blood, sweat, and tears into an original song, and you're so passionate about it, and you can't wait to play it in front of people, and you get the chance to do it, and people are just like, you know, it's like, oh, all that work, I'm so glad I did that, you know. And then like you play a song that everybody knows and they get into it, but that's just how it is, you know, because with cover music, you know, it takes people back to when they first heard it, you know, and it means something to them, and it's nostalgic. And so I mean, when I first started doing cover music, I'm like, okay, I can really see that now. I know why people, you know, can I don't want to say the word appreciate it more, but relate to it more than original stuff. Unless you become a big, you know, big name band and everybody knows who you are, well, then they're singing your songs, you know. But if you're, you know, if you're a small band and you're playing small venues and you're not, you know, people don't really know who you are, original songs can be kind of hit and miss sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. So let's play a game, right? You said you do primarily 90s covers, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna name 5 songs. All right, and tell me if you don't play one of these, okay? So I'm guaranteeing you play all 5 of these songs I'm about to name.
All right, let's see.
You definitely play Wonderwall.
Yes.
You definitely play Everlong.
Yes.
You definitely play Semi-Charmed Kind of Life.
Yep.
You definitely play Slide by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah, I played it once. Yeah. Yep.
And you definitely play I Only Want to Be With You by Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yes.
All right.
Got them all.
Yeah, people love that stuff, though, man. And
they do.
Like I said, I grew up on that 90s stuff. I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the most, you're not going to get the most advanced musicians playing those songs like we talked about before, but I mean, those choruses back then, I mean, it's just good, man, you know?
Yeah.
Counting Crows, Train, like all that stuff.
Yep. You know what's crazy?
Oh,
sorry. I was going to add one more thing. So, you know what's crazy about the 90s stuff, too, is that it's considered classic rock now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it's so big right now in the bar and brewery scene, is because a lot of times that kind of music, the classic rock, seems to be the most popular in those venues. And yeah, so 90s is the big thing right now, but it makes me feel old as shit.
Yeah, I always think about that too, like classic rock stations, like where I am, there's a classic rock station, it's called WPDH, and it's like you said, that grunge stuff is now like classic. It's like, boy, like in you know, 15, 20 years, what are those stations going to be playing? Are they still going to be rolling out Led Zeppelin and AC/DC? Like I said, there's not a whole lot of new new artists that are really jumping out to me, so especially in the metal scene, I can't really relate to any newer bands. I just really don't like them in the metal scene. It's too electronic. Like me and all my friends were metal wise, like we're all still just anticipating those same early 2000 bands putting out an album. Like, oh, the new Korn album's about to drop. Or Slipknot's going on tour. Oh, Mudvayne's getting back together. Like, there's just no new content that we really care about in the metal scene. How do you feel about that? You feel the same way? Do you like any new metal bands that are coming up?
I gotta say, like, I agree with you. Like, I'm always looking forward to the new stuff coming out from past artists. Like to see how they keep going. I will say that I'm, like I mentioned earlier, like I'm kind of big into I like a lot of prog stuff, actually. So yeah, Dream Theater, Opeth, Symphony X, yeah. So I'm finding that in the prog rock or prog metal world, there's a lot of exciting like new stuff coming out, but it's not stuff that you're going to hear on the radio, you know. So it's kind of stuff you have to dig for a little bit, you know, on Spotify or whatever you use to find it. But man, there actually is a lot of cool stuff out there right now. It just kind of gets covered up by the fact that metal is not the main genre anymore like it used to be. So I hate it when people say that metal is dead, because I really don't think it is. But it's just covered up by the things that are kind of taking the attention away right now. I mean, pop is always going to be the most popular music. It's right in the title, So that's always going to be the music that's popular. But I really don't think, like, if you go to a metal concert, which they haven't been happening a lot in the last 2 years, but they're starting to come back. But if you go to a metal concert and you see like the community, like the people that show up, there's a lot of people that show up for those shows, and the like metal fans, I believe, and I'll say it, that metal fans and rock fans are the best fans out there. You won't find any more loyal of a fan base than rock and metal, and so like I feel like if some of these people who said, oh, metal and rock is dead, like if they went to a concert or a festival and saw the camaraderie in the community, I really think that people would be shocked, of just to see how much loyalty there is from the fans to the artists still.
For sure. Yeah. Like you were saying, like a fan of heavy metal music obviously is going to be the best fan, because you have to dig for it. Like you were saying, it's not like you can just turn on the radio. Like you could turn on any radio station right now and no disc to this guy. I actually do think he has some talent. You'll hear any Post Malone song. It's accessible. You can hear it. But if you're a fan of a metal band, you can't just turn on the radio and hear it. You have to actually go digging. So that's why, like you were saying, metal fans are the best fans. They are the most dedicated, most loyal. Definitely. All right, man. Let's hear another track. I'm excited.
All right, man.
After the first
totally. So I'm gonna do one that I've already made a video of, actually. I'm gonna do "Rooster" by Alice in Chains.
Yes.
So, all right, here it is. Actually, my bad. I forgot to tune my string back up from playing Suicide.
It's all good.
It's like Something does not sound right.
Me and my friend always joke with some of those like metal bands, like, oh, they're dropping down to Z flat.
Yeah. All right, got it now.
All right, I was here.
Okay. All right, here we go. So. Eyes burn, stinging sweat. Seems every path leads me to nowhere. Wife and kids, household pet. Army green, no safe bed. The bullets scream to me from somewhere. Here they come to stop the rooster. Yeah. Walking tall, machine gun man. They spit on me in my homeland. Gloria sent me pictures of my boy. Got my pills, against mosquito death. My buddy's breathing his dying breath. Oh God, please, would you help me make it through? Yeah.
that song. Like it, just I have a young daughter, right? She's 18 months old, so she has this one puzzle where it's a bunch of like farm animals, and you know, if you have to put the animal back in the right place, and then it makes a sound. Like if you take the cow and put it in the cow, it goes whoa. If you take the horse and put it in the horse, it goes neigh. She has one that's a rooster, right? So every time I see that piece, I take it out. I'm like, yeah, they come to stop the rooster. And my wife's like, well, what are you singing? Like, she's not a metalhead. I'm like, it's Rooster by Alice in Chains. She's like, what does that even fucking mean? What do we know what that song means? How do you interpret the lyrics? It's about some kind of an army guy, right?
Yeah, it's funny you brought that up, because just recently I found out what this song was about. Basically the guitarist of the band, Jerry Cantrell, he wrote this song, and he wrote it about his dad, and his dad was in Vietnam, and so this song is like from his perspective, and he had a nickname. He was called the Rooster.
Oh, all right.
So the song is basically about his dad being at war, and just his experience from it and stuff, which I thought was really interesting because I never knew what the song was about.
Yeah,
but that's what it is.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like in metal there's the big four, and then grunge there's like the big four too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like Nirvana is Metallica, and Alice in Chains is Megadeth. Whereas both those bands, they might be the most talented out of that genre, but they don't always get the most recognition. Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you remember the day that Lane died?
You know, I do remember it. For some reason I don't remember it impacting me like a ton. Like I was, sad, but like it was a tragic thing. I think it was because like it happened like so much like it happened like years after they were even like doing anything together, I guess, like because I think he died in like 98 or something like that, and their last album was the live album, I believe, and
the Unplugged album, right?
Yeah, which was amazing, but that was in 96. So like yeah, I mean it didn't hit me as much as like when Kurt Cobain was found dead, like in 94. And I don't know why that was, because both are very tragic, Lane Staley was an amazing vocalist and songwriter, and so I'm not sure why it didn't hit me the same, but it still hit me, but
he was very sick. I mean, you could see by when he was doing the Unplugged album. It was videotaped, and he's like, his skin wasn't quite the right color. It was kind of covered up because he had dyed his hair and stuff. But it was just, kind of just not where he should be.
Right.
Heroin won't do that to you, I guess, right?
That's
not
true.
Speaking from experience.
Yeah. I wouldn't know either, to be honest. But.
Yeah. So you're a big time metalhead, right?
Yes.
Tell me some of your guilty pleasures when the doors are shut and the blinds are drawn. What is a guilty pleasure that you'll put on that's not metal that you might be a little ashamed to tell people, but not really? Let's hear it.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I would say
if you even do, you might be just a straight up metalhead through and through, and you don't listen to any of that stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, it's not. I'll be honest. Like I don't have a lot of that. Because there's I mean, okay, I guess I would say maybe like some like hip hop stuff, but not anything from today. Like it would be like classic stuff, like like some stuff like I don't know. Like I actually liked, when I was younger, I actually liked a lot of Fresh Prince stuff.
I had some Will Smith stuff. I remember it was one Easter, I forget what year it was, but one of my Easter gifts, it was the cassette for Miami, I think, where he
Okay.
I remember he had like an unbuttoned button down with a white T-shirt. But Will Smith was the shit back then.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince
Yeah.
of Bel-Air.
Yep.
Even I remember people hated the movie, but they did the Wild Wild West movie, and I thought
that's right.
I thought the song was pretty sick too.
Yeah.
Men in Black.
Yep.
You know, so
yeah. So I'll listen to that stuff every now and then. You know.
Okay.
But yeah. But other than that, I don't really have a lot of other guilty pleasures, I would call them. So it's yeah.
So the name of the show is Headbangers at the Hangar. It's a tribute in a way to the Megadeth song Hangar 18, because
hell yeah.
I'm very into the alien UFO stuff. So when people ask me what this show is, I'm like, it's primarily a metal show, and I got a little bit of an alien UFO twist. Because I like to bring up recent events, which there are a lot of them. There's a lot of UFO sightings going on. What do you have any opinions on that subject of aliens, UFOs? Do you think that it's real? Do you think it's all bullshit? What are your personal thoughts?
Oh man. You know, I don't know. I mean, I feel like sometimes it's, you know, for us to say that we're the only beings in existence is pretty ignorant, you know? Like I believe that there is definitely more more to than what we are. I don't know about UFO sightings, to be honest. I mean, I feel like that they're like legit as far as like those pictures. I mean, obviously some could be doctored and some have been proved that they are, but I mean, I feel like sometimes it can be the military. I mean, it could be, I know it could be a lot of things. So I'm not gonna say like, oh, I don't believe in it at all, but I feel like just maybe like sometimes it can be taken too far, you know. Yeah. So like I'm very fascinated about space and what else is beyond the realm of what we see, you know, and what else is out there. And so like I don't want to piss people off, but like I don't believe like the flat earth shit. I don't believe in any of that, to be honest. I feel like that there's the stuff that's been documented and, you know, seen in space is definitely real and not fabricated in a studio. And but yeah, I don't know. I mean, UFOs, it's an interesting thing. I mean, like I said, I'll kind of circle back, you know, like I believe there's more than what's out there than what we see, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, we were watching yesterday. We put ABC on, and it was they flew Michael Strahan up into space with a lot of other people. Obviously, he's the big name, but for the Amazon Blue Origin, I think. Okay. So they flew him up. They're all in a spaceship, and everybody's going crazy. And then they went up for about. They were ascending up for about, you know, I think 5 minutes, something like that. And then all of a sudden they turned back, and it's like, really? So again, I don't want to piss people off either, but like, I don't want to say that we never went to the moon, because I don't believe that yet. But it's like, people are making such a buzz about like all these guys going up into space, like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk is going up to space. It's like, guys, they're barely going up into space. Like we say that we went to the moon in 1969, which was how many years ago? Like, right. And you're telling me that we've never been back? Like, I don't know. It seems kind of fishy. Again, I'm not saying that we didn't go to the moon, because right now I have no reason to believe that we didn't. But it's like, how come we haven't gone back, man? And like, these guys are all being praised for barely going up. It's like, something seems a little weird. But I don't go crazy into like, I'm not flat Earth. Again, I'm not gonna say we didn't go to the moon. But so if I put a gun to your head, right? So the Pentagon has admitted 2 UFOs being there, right? Okay. They've said, okay, we have a sighting. We are saying it's a UFO. We don't know what it is. if somebody asked you, they said, okay, what do you think it is? What would your answer be that UFO is? Is it China? Is it Russia? Is it a U.S. drone? Is it an alien? What do you think that they are? We know they're admitted that they're there. What do you think it is?
Yep. I would go the route of saying it's either a U.S. drone or some kind of prototype from the U.S. military or Air Force that hasn't been seen, or that's I think that's where I would go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. Like, I got into it because I was a big fan of the X-Files, right? So,
oh yeah, I love that show.
Yeah. So I was I've been a big fan, and I kind of kept going at it, and it's just the whole thing to me. It's so fascinating because even if it's not aliens, right? Like, there's still unidentified flying objects. Like, we kind of need to know. Like, if it is another country that's way far beyond us, like, we should know. Like you said, it might be the U.S. and they might just be covering it up, which would make sense because if you have technology that's more advanced than China or Russia or any one of our quote unquote enemies, like, you wouldn't really want that out there either, that we have it and you don't, So I find it all very fascinating. All right, man, we're gonna wrap it up. You got one more song for us, but before you play that, I want you to plug everything you got. Tell everybody about all your YouTube channels, all the bands you're in. Like, just promote the hell out of yourself. You got some really good stuff. Put it out there.
All right, awesome. Appreciate that. So I've got 2 YouTube channels that can be checked out. I've got my main channel, I guess I'll call it, is entitled Willis Bouwman Music, and that is primarily acoustic stuff. Like we talked about, acoustifying metal. That's kind of the niche. And then I also have a full-on heavy metal channel called Metal or Die, which is more or less just covers, but like full-on playing electric guitars.
Yeah, I saw you had a Fear Factory guitar cover on there.
Yeah, do a little bit of everything, all kind of different genres of metal on there, and so that one's there. Yeah, it's called Metal or Die, so you can check that out. Talking about bands, Sixes and Sevens is the band I'm in. You can find our music on Spotify. We're also on Facebook as well. We have a Facebook page that you can find. We're out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. There are some other Sixes and Sevens bands, so look for the one out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. And then also I'll pump the thing with me and my brother as well. We're called The Brothers, and we have also a Facebook page. And we primarily just play out locally, but we do post some videos sometimes, things like that. So I think that's pretty much everything happening in my world as far as music. So
what are some of the big clubs out there? Like, over where I am, I'm in like upstate New York. I don't know if you ever heard like Poughkeepsie, but like our big club is the Chance. Like, what are some big clubs in Michigan where you guys are at? What are some of your favorite places to play?
Yeah, the biggest venue I played at is called Bell's Brewery. So Bell's is they're a pretty famous beer. They distribute beer like everywhere out through the U.S. And that's located right here. We're in my hometown, and they have a really nice facility. And our band played there, Sixes and Sevens played there a few years ago, and we played to about 500 people, which was awesome. That was definitely the biggest venue I played. But there's some other good ones I haven't played at, but there's like another larger city around us is Grand Rapids, and they have some big venues there. There's a really cool one called 20 Monroe Live, and they have a lot of big band names that come there, and I've been there a few times to see like Volbeat and other bands like that. It's really good. So
all right, man, bring it home. Let's hear the last.
All right, I got one more song. This one might not be as well known, but I was kind of going the route. This is one I've been kicking around to do a video of. Are you familiar with the band Demon Hunter?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna do one of their songs, and it's called "I Will Fail You." These quiet words, they carry me away. Returning, they keep coming back. The thoughts in hollow cutaways disarm me, no will to attack. Though the sorrow and fear, they may depart you today, I will fail you, of that I'm sure. I will remind you of the pain forevermore. And when my sins are just a memory, faith restored, I will fail you to the core. Lost in the shadow of an endless grace, relentless, my reign is unbound. In this abandon I will devastate, dismember, till agony's found. Though the sorrow and fear, they may depart you today, I will fail you, of that I'm sure. I will remind you of the pain forevermore. And when my sins are just a memory, faith restored, I will fail you to the core. I know they prey upon me, I feel them just beyond my door. I will fail you, of that I'm sure. I will remind you of the pain forevermore. And when my sins are just a memory, faith restored, I will fail you to the core.
All right.
That's a good song. Have you ever heard that one before?
I haven't. I'm not. I always get these two confused. You said it was Devil Driver or Demon Hunter?
Demon Hunter.
Demon Hunter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've seen them before. They opened for somebody that I saw once. But yeah,
Okay.
I know of them. I always get the two confused, like I said. The name.
Yeah, and the original song is much more. It's more like metalcore, you know.
Yeah. No,
But
that
it's
was
good.
killer though, man.
Thank you.
That was
Appreciate
really
it.
good. Hey man, again, I really appreciate you coming on the show. This was awesome. You played some really good stuff for us.
Well, thanks so much. I appreciate you having me on. I've had a
Yeah,
good time.
dude. Anytime you want to come on the show, just send me a text or whatever. If you want to promote your band or promote something that you're doing, just let me know. Anytime you want to come on, you're more than welcome.
All right, man. I appreciate that a lot.
All right, dude.
All right.
Have a good rest of your Sunday, okay?
All right, you too, man.
All right. See you later.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.